Top 7 Fighting Jets of the U.S. Military. Ever since Wilbur and Orville Wright took their first flight at Kitty Hawk, the United States of America has been the world leader in aviation. This heritage lives on to this day, as the United States of America continues to be one of the largest makers and users of cutting-edge fighter jets. These are the 7 most advanced American fighter planes that are still in service with the United States Air Force. Air combat is a dangerous yet entertaining activity to watch. The United States of America and its allies have maintained their dominance in the skies for many years thanks to the sophisticated designs and cutting-edge technologies that they have deployed. Here is a list of the most famous fighter planes that have ever been put into service. Number 7. A Boeing T-7 Red Hawk TX aircraft. Now that we've looked at a prototype from the past, let's move on to one from the future. The Boeing F-7 Red Hawk TX is a 2-seater fighter jet that Boeing designed and developed from the ground up, without drawing inspiration from any of its earlier models. It is designed to be a fighter plane of the next generation that is slimmer and more aerodynamic. As the latter part of this list demonstrates, Boeing and Northrop are engaged in somewhat of a competition with one another when it comes to the development of both prototype and training fighter aircraft. Because the former just received a contract for the production of bombers, Boeing is in a position to exploit the defense deal for this. The introduction of the model is not expected until 2023, as there is still a significant amount of work to be done on it. What the ultimate product ends up looking like will undoubtedly be a topic of discussion and speculation in aeronautical circles over the next few years. Number 6. A F-15 Eagle aircraft. The McDonnell Douglas F-15 is one of the few airplanes that is more iconic in the American imagination than the aircraft. Since the 1970s, the term fighter jet has become almost synonymous with it in the minds of the majority of Americans, and with good reason. This does not mean that the F-15 is the most up-to-date fighter jet on our list. On the contrary, this aircraft, which has been in service for several decades, is among the oldest entries. Despite this, the fact that it is still in use is evidence of how reliable and useful, even after all these years, this ancient flying champion continues to be. The F-15 has been licensed for use by several countries, including some allies like Israel and Japan, as well as other countries like Saudi Arabia. It has a long and famous service record, particularly in the American and Israeli Air Forces, and has not suffered a single recorded loss in battle. This is a testament to the aircraft's tremendous success. Number 5. A Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor. The F-22 Raptor joined the roster of aircraft operated by the Air Force in 2005, making it one of the service's considerably more recent acquisitions. This interceptor aircraft is considered to be a member of the 5th generation of aircraft that the United States Air Force flies. This jet's ability to maintain low visibility, which allows it to conceal itself from other jets and gives it a distinct advantage over other aircraft, is one of the defining characteristics that set it apart from other aircraft. Even though manufacturing of the F-22 halted in 2011, the aircraft is still an essential component of the Air Force's inventory. Even though there weren't as many F-22s manufactured, as there were of the more venerable F-15 and F-16 versions, a respectable total of 195 F-22s were manufactured. In 2005, Lockheed Martin developed the F-22 Raptor, which immediately became a crowd favorite due to its stealthy appearance. Built with 2 engines, it only had room for 1 pilot, but was capable of fulfilling whatever mission the Air Force could throw at it. Regrettably, the F-22 Raptor was finally taken out of service for good in 2017. Number 4. McDonnell Douglas F/A-18 Hornet. We are now going to transition from the fighter jets that are utilized by the United States Air Force to the fighter jets that are flown by their brothers and sisters in arms who serve in the United States Navy. The F-18 Hornet was initially manufactured by McDonnell Douglas in the middle of the 1970s. However, Boeing has been in charge of manufacturing the aircraft since the middle of the 1990s. It is a craft that has been put to considerable use in America's engagements in the Middle East over the past couple of decades, playing key roles in the air offensives during both the Gulf War and the Iraq War. Over the past couple of decades, the United States has engaged in several conflicts in the Middle East. Its adaptability is a major contributor to its remarkable longevity. The F-19 Hornet is capable of, and has been used, for in various phases of its operational history, a wide range of missions, including reconnaissance, close aerial support, suppression of opposing troops, and attacks on those forces. Number 3. Grumman F-14 Tomcat fighter aircraft. Because of the reasonable restrictions placed on the availability of public information regarding contemporary American fighter jets, this is the point at which we begin to discuss training jet planes and aircraft that are older than those currently in service. The F-14 Tomcats combine elements of both types of aircraft. Even though the F-14 Tomcat has been replaced in active duty by the F-18 Super Hornet, these jets continue to be useful in the training role. In addition to this, even though the United States Navy decommissioned them in 2006, they are still in use by Iran, to whom the United States sold 6 units while it was replacing them. Interceptors were one of their primary roles when they were in service with the United States Navy. However, to make them last for a longer period, it was planned that they would be upgraded with ground attack capabilities. Number 2. Northrop F-5 Tiger. Both the F-45 Goshawk and the Northrop F-5 are examples of jet trainers that are utilized by the Navy to bring inexperienced pilots up to speed. It was initially put into the air in its basic configuration back in 1959, making it a veritable relic from the past. Since then, it has, needless to say, undergone several upgrades and alterations, the most notable of which being the Tiger U update, which serves as the foundation for the models that are still in use today. Additionally, the A, B, C, D, E, and F variants were manufactured, and a couple thousand F-5s were produced in total among all of these types. About 500 of them are still used for various types of flight instruction. During the conflict in Vietnam, the fighter planes were put to use. During the fall of Saigon, some of them were captured, and after that, the Khmer Rouge was able to utilize a small number of them in sporadic operations. Number 1. Raytheon T-1 Jayhawk. Another aircraft that has served the United States Air Force for a significant amount of time in the capacity of a training model is presented here. When student pilots have reached a more advanced stage in their training, they are allowed to fly a twin-engine aircraft called the Raytheon T-1 Jayhawk. 1992 saw the beginning of widespread utilization of the first of the 180 completed units. The Military Beech 400 can attain top speeds of up to 538 miles per hour, and it is based on the design of the commercial Beech 400A. The fact that it has a medium range contributes to the adaptability of the aircraft in its role as a training jet. This fact has not gone ignored, as the United States Marine Corps also uses it as a vessel for training purposes. With contractors like McDonnell Douglas and Boeing right here in our backyard, newer versions of this craft are easier to come by. There's also the fact that there are significant financial incentives for some in private industry and political office and government to grow military spending. Whatever the reason, there is no denying that America replaces its fighter jets faster and with more regularity than most nations. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.